First of all, well, actually, they're actually right. If you believe in a religion, and you call a person a great Satan, that means that you don't never supposed to bow down to that person that you call Satan. So they don't call America what? The great Satan. So it's going to be, so it would mean that they don't believe in what they believe in to say, okay then, you know what I'm saying? We're going to cooperate with y'all. You see what I'm saying? So we talk about a force, and it's a spiritual thing. Sometimes the spirit don't work based on the conventional weapons.
That's right. That's right.
And your military might. Sometimes it works just based on Murphy's Law. If it can't go wrong, it will.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just goes based on some crisscross mumbo jumbo. It's the spirit world doing things.
Yes.
You figured it this way with your arrogance and your ego. And you done calculated your whole army based on your temperament, your arrogance, your ego. And we're going to show you the spirit force. Say, hey, we're going to beat you just throwing rocks. And there's some rock throwing people over there. What's that? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So these are some things. So give me some questions right quick. Because we want to do this tomorrow because we got a lot of stuff. What's that, brother? You raise your hand. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask about, you know, they have like a lot of different people, like the aliens, they call them, you know, coming over. And all they have to do is basically show their cards and so forth. Now, with them setting up, say, this new world government that they're headed for, what's happening is that, don't you think they're going to use a lot of those people for martial law? See how they already...
Let me tell you what's really happening with the alien thing. They're dealing with the Mayan thing, which is 2012. The whole Mayan calendar thing. Yeah. I personally think that the actual date, you don't really focus on the date, but they say focus on the season. So we're not necessarily in that date could be off because all calendars is off.
That's right.
But the season of the 2012. So they decided, look, we're going to do the 2012, and that's all based on the Mayans, which they tell you is Olmec. They done started on the History Channel coming on saying the Mayans are Olmec.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, the History Channel, the white History Channel? You know, they was like, I mean, you know, they was like they're Olmec. So they decided, look, this is, if it's over here, it's the return of Quetzalcoatl, which is the Christ energy. And it's the Olmec. We got to clear out Mexico to get it right spiritually. And we're building the wall around the United States to keep the Mexicans from going back in Mexico. They're keeping them out of Mexico because Mexico got them pyramids down there. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I said, wait a minute, they got pyramids. I can't understand why the white man didn't take advantage of that. That came on TV. The white congressman was complaining that the head of Mexico, they had found some plans where they got together and got all the riffraff and pushed them out and told them to go to America. And they're building the wall so that they can lock them niggas in America. Because this is the penal colony. And remember, we're not talking about America, we're talking about Britannia. This is Britain. It's Britannia. It's about the Queen and all of them. Everything is a ritual, including the movie, The Queen. Just getting ready to win the Golden Globes. Let me tell you what they're doing. Let me tell you what they're doing. They've been doing this for a couple of years now. Let's say they want to bring attention to something. They really haven't had any black people that was on the level of a Stalin, people, what they call mass murderers, these dictators and stuff. So they'll go out, it's all based on psychological stuff in Hollywood. They will go out and make a movie on Idi Amin.
That's right.
Make the movie. Forrest Whitaker, I saw the movie, hell. I was scared. And this was the bootleg. I said, man, what would have happened if I'd have seen this shit on big widescreen? I said, man, this nigga need Academy Award. I was scared. So then he wins the Golden Globe. He might get the Academy Award. Thus, it's gonna produce one thing. The world will see a black man as this ruthless character, which they've never seen. It's always been white people. You see what I'm saying? So what they will do is they will bring attention to you, then reward something, reward you for it. You see what I'm saying? And then It's just like they did it last year, the year before last. They did, well, last year, they only had 4 people, 3 black people ever won the Academy Award for music. Quincy Jones, Isaac Hayes for Shaft, and 4 black guys talking about it's hard to be a pimp out here. Last year. Now, from the movie Hustle and Flow. Why do you think they gave them ignorant niggas standing there with gold teeth? Academy Award, that's their high thing. Because when they do that, we're not a global, we're not a local community no more. We're a global community. They got this stuff, everything you see here is on TV in China and everywhere. As soon as they gave them black guys the award, the next day, the very next day, a guy was doing some business for some company over here in Australia. The Australians stepped to him and went, are all black people in America, all black men in America pimps?
Right.
Because that's, see, we get other portions, but that's all they get. BET is taken over by white people. Now the BET is getting ready. What BET is doing is they're making the program now. They got this thing called the Pimps. What is it called? A Gangsters, Original Gangsters, or some type of gangster thing. So they got chronicling gangsters. Like, come on, man, this is some stuff that just came up. We didn't even call ourselves gangsters 20 years ago. So they can invent something, and they put it on BET, and now they're getting ready to have The Wire come as reruns on BET. The Wire started in 2004 in HBO. What you saying is harmless? It ain't harmless. Do you understand something? See, this is how sick we are, that we don't analyze no more. Do you understand something that the only people on the planet that got their children selling dope on a national TV show is The Wire? They got children selling dope. You see what I'm saying? And this thing is going, so when they see it in China, they go, what kind of savage people got their children selling dope? You see, this is, let me give you another thing what they're getting ready to do. If your children out here, if they don't see certain things on TV, then it's not a possibility. It's an impossibility. So, now what they're getting ready to do is every time you see a black man in a relationship, it's going to be with a white woman, and every time you see a white woman, a black woman, it's going to be with a white man. So what happens is this. If they put enough TV shows over the course, let's say if we got to the next 10 years, just give you a hypothetical shit. It ain't going to be much of nothing if you still around here 10 years. But let's just say hypothetically, if you the next 5 years, if they only showed you where they don't show no black person, right now they don't show no black person ever in no black man and black woman in romance, that's an impossibility. You don't see it on TV.
You don't see it.
And even in the sexual thing, they won't even have you. They got sex movies that come on, what they call it, light porn, that come on Cinemax every night at 9 o'clock. You be like, oh man, that's some old nasty stuff. If it's that nasty, why you don't never see no black man and black woman in those movies? They don't want to show you at nothing, even on the sexual, even on the romantic. And now, even in just regular relationships, they got the guy from Grey's Anatomy, he with the Asian girl. They got a show called Heroes coming on Mondays, Monday nights.
Right.
Heroes, they got the black boy, black man with the white woman. They got the black woman with the white boy.
Boy, that's right.
They don't want to show you together no more. So what happens here is, in your community, it can become an impossibility to people in the early teens and in the 20s. So therefore, they be like, well, you're not going to go get me a white person because, you know, black people are not, black man is an impossibility. We can't be with them. I can't be with the black woman. She ain't shit. And you don't understand how they can foster these things through the TV show.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So this is some warfare that goes on. You see what I'm saying? That goes on. So this movie with Idi Amin. Now, Khaled, before he died, said that Idi Amin was a conscious person.
Even said it in the movie.
Very conscious person. So when he stepped up in the movie, the first thing he said in the movies, this is the land where the Greeks stole all their shit from.
Sure did.
Now they did put that in the movie, and I said Khaled was right. Khaled said, you know, Khaled was over there with him, and Khaled said that this brother was conscious.
If you can get on Google, they got a full documentary on Idi Amin.
He revealed some stuff.
He was dropping, they said, we got to tear him down as a monster. Anytime they do that, anytime they got you as a monster, it's because you were the real deal thing. And they don't never want that to come about no more. So when Public Enemy did their little thing in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, they made sure that they gave this fool a TV show, Flavor Flav, to undo that. That's called assassination. The movie, the show that come on VH1 with Flavor Flav. Flavor Love. You see, so you gotta understand. So my point here is they gave Ray the Academy Award.
Yeah.
Ray got through his whole life and died, and I never knew Ray was on drugs. But I know now because of the movie. Right. Anytime they do anything with a movie, it's never for celebration. It's always for some form of exploitation. That's right. You see what I'm saying? It's for some form of exploitation. Meanwhile, the white boy looking like a saint. You see what I'm saying? Devil. You see. So the Rwanda movies, they didn't show you the movies 10 years ago when it was happening. They're showing it to you now. Every time they show you something with Africa, it's going to be some savage stuff. Blood Diamond.
Yes, that's something.
It's some savage stuff that the Africans are doing. They're never going to show you in a positive light.
Exactly. It was horrible.
You see what I'm saying? You know, they had a movie called Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis over there killing the Nigerians. And the Nigerians corrupt. Well, guess what? If you put that in their head, all of that, I was in the Nigerians got the cab. Nigerians in Ethiopia down in Atlanta. So I'm in the cab, and the Nigerian was talking about how these black people getting all this money from the oil and ain't sharing the wealth. And he turned around and said, the white man is fair.
Oh, God.
That's what this guy said. The white man is fair. It's us that we got to get out there. I'm like, what? Nigga, how you think you wouldn't even have an oil industry if the white man ain't in control of it? That's right. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, it ain't the bylaws for Nigeria that Britain will always run it. Right. Before they could even say independence, they're saying that Britain is always in control.
Did you tell him that?
Huh?
Did you tell him that?
It would take 1,000 years. Because they don't know their history. I done made that mistake. They don't know their history. We are the ones that know the history. You see,
they don't have a history.
I do a lot of these lectures, and I've got people that I'm in contact who've been going to Africa for the last 20 years. One guy doesn't take a trip to Africa every year. He owns his own construction company, and he go every year. This is the new thing. He said he finally got into their heads. They think of other Africans as other races. Wow. Although they're black.
Yeah.
I said, oh, so this is how the whole Rwanda thing can go down. Okay. They don't see, it's something psychologically. With us, we can distinguish because we are a minority in a vast land of other people. Right. You see what I'm saying? But, so we know the contrast. But what about if you're living on a continent where everybody is black? Right. Right. Wow. Then your races become just other black cultures. So the guy, I was just melanin conference, and the guy he gives a melanin conference every year. He said, I just got back from Africa last week. I said, so what? He said, man, they over there talking, and he said, they confide in him because he go there every year. So then they start opening up, and they was like, no, those are different races. So they think the Nigerians might think of the people in the Congo as a whole nother race. Yeah. The Ethiopians. But see, the Ethiopians, they do it, but see, they do have a little lighter portion of that whole Arab mixture or whatever. Yeah. But we talk about other black ones. The damn nigga from Senegal look just like the nigga from Nigeria. But yet, they're another race based on their identifying culture as racial. You see, so it's some crazy stuff. So they done got them so messed up over there based on that type of thing, you see. But it's all, again, based on the image. Yeah. Based on the image. And so the white boy said, look, I don't even have to fight a war no more physically with it. I can do it based on the image. I don't think that you can make a Mercedes-Benz. Remember what's the name said that? Francis Grant Wilson said, turn to that black person beside you and see, honestly, ask yourself honestly, can that person make a Mercedes-Benz? You go, no. You see what I'm saying? They got the Chinese and stuff making everything on the planet now.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Japanese.
Right.
And your people over here sophisticated, you say, no, that nigga can't make no Mercedes. Now these are the same Asians that they say, if it moves in Asia, they eat it. They say if in China, if it moves, they got some Chinese eating it. They had one guy was on there, he was like, them city people over there, they take baths every day. He says, I ain't had a bath in 20 years. But yet, you can believe those people can produce a product. And here you over here all sophisticated. I got a little mint coat somebody done bought me. But you don't think I can make a Mercedes-Benz? You see what I'm saying? You know, I can make a Mercedes-Benz. You know what I'm saying? But I do know Negroes when they put their minds to something, like a nigga that had that guy in Atlanta, just a G. It was a crackhead. But he said he prayed at night. Because they say, my brother said, what is cracking? He working on Mercedes-Benz. He working on BMWs. And they say, man, some people still trying to train to work on them. But this cat out there working on everybody BMW. They're like, who is this cat? I said, how you do it, man? He said, I pray at night. I go to bed and I wake up in the morning. The designs is in my head, blueprint. He said one day I got so good until I put my hand on the woman's car and it cranked up and it was fixed. There we go again. There we go again.
It's spiritual energy.
It's the spirit thing.
That's right.
And we already convinced ourselves that this can't happen. You see what I'm saying? Remember you see my tape about the guy from Philadelphia was a nigga around the corner on the liquor store. He was a bum on the corner, and they would come get him and fix these machines that people from Europe would bring these machines over. And then they would leave to go to Europe, the people who know how to fix them, and when they would break down, they couldn't send for Europe. That quick, they go get a nigga off the corner. And the guy said, I will come in there. He said, I don't know how I do it, but I could just fix it. He said, I don't know. He said, I don't know what they do to this day. He said, but I could fix them. Now they say that's the same way they translated hieroglyphics. Champollion shit, they said they say that they couldn't get the vowels, they couldn't get none of the stuff right. They went out on the street and got a nigga off the street from Chicago. And the nigga translated all the hieroglyphics. Now, when I heard that from Rakati Wimby, who was the Egyptologist, at that time she was the only black Egyptologist we knew. And she said, this is the story they said they got a black guy off the street. And I said, now, I'm going to agree with you. I said, the reason why I'm going to agree with you, I said, because I got a friend named Yehoshua. He's on some of my tapes, Open Up. He learned Hebrew in a week. He was so good until they got him to teach rabbis for 4 years at Boston University. It was in his collective unconscious, his memory bank. So I don't know how that nigga fixed those machines. But that other guy said, he said, I put my hand on it and that car started up. You see, that car started up. You see, so I'm saying is, we got to start using our own energy. You see, and using our mind, because ultimately, even when all the herbs and stuff run out, you better learn how to go into your mind. You see what I'm saying? And say you well and you heal.
Yes, right.
And stuff. You see, say you well and you heal. And that's how the stuff happens and stuff. Now, like I said, we got zapped when we went to D.C. And I had to fight the whole Christmas vacation, keep from getting sick. I stopped from getting sick. I stopped the flu, pneumonia, all that stuff. You see what I'm saying and all. But it still was lingering up until last week. And I was like, man, I said, these spirits got to do something. And I took that natural colonic, and the mucus came out of me was something that looked like a doggone, like you get the stalk off of some broccoli and you got the stalk. It was as hard as the stalk and stuff. Now, I'm like, wait, what is this shit? This is some stuff that the chemtrails, it's a chemical that produces something that kills you. You see what I'm saying? That kills you. And you got people walking in the hospital one day and they dead the next. You see what I'm saying? So it's the chemtrails who's doing this stuff. You see what I'm saying? So give me some questions. I know we got to go, but I'm going to give me some questions and then we can go. What's that? Go ahead.
Okay, I had two quick questions. One, since you were talking about Mexico, we were watching a show on Oxygen one night. They were bringing it to our attention about all these women getting killed in Juarez. Did you hear about it? And they said that it's a ritual that every year they got like hundreds of these women getting killed, and ain't nobody, none of that government, nobody. They said that the government people are doing satanic rituals and all kind of stuff. I don't know if you heard about that, the killing.
Yeah, even that girl down there that they was talking about, and what's that? What that girl, that white girl, like that? Huh? Aruba. Aruba. I ain't shit. As soon as she died, they start running commercials. Go to Aruba. But they doing all kind of rituals. You remember the girl back here with the senator? They got when the senator had some page back in like 2002, and she was missing. And they come to find her and stuff. Come to find out and stuff. She was come to find out. Huh? Chandra, whatever. Come to find out she was a spy for the Israelis. And spied on the wrong stuff and they killed her and stuff. So it's all kind of stuff. But then they got major rituals. See, that's what this book.
Speaking of spies, Obama.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? This is the way I see about that. This is what I feel about that. Any black person that's going to run for president, it's not as if they're saying that there's going to be somebody. You automatically say, I don't trip on Obama because he's telling you he's running for president. I want you to think if he's running for president, he got to be in with whatever got to be in with.
Right.
Just like Reverend Buffon, Al Sharpton and all of that.
Right.
Obama. Well, didn't. Well, I mean.